First tonight, the latest on a disturbing bomb hoax that was first breaking last night on Eyewitness News.
The man accused of dropping a suspicious backpack near the scene of last year's marathon bombings on the anniversary of the tragic attack has been ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation.
Eyewitnesses say this video shows 25-year-old Kevin Kayvon Edson barefoot and in a black veil before leaving behind a backpack that he told police contained a rice cooker.
Police detonated the backpack as a precaution after evacuating the area and leaving many people fearing the worst.
This afternoon, Edson was arraigned on numerous charges, and we're learning more about what may have been the motivation behind his actions.
Eyewitness News reporter Todd Wallace was in Boston all day yesterday covering the anniversary of the bombing. He joins us live now from the newsroom with the new details on last night's terrifying scare.
And Mike and Shannon, this is really all unfortunate that this happened on the one-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombings, a day featuring a moving tribute to the victims and survivors.
Kevin Edson learned at his arraignment that he'll be held on $100,000 bail. He's also been sent to Bridgewater State Hospital to be evaluated. Police say he created a scene Tuesday evening which forced an evacuation near the finish line to the Boston Marathon.
When they approached, they saw the defendant. The defendant was wearing a large hat and a black veil covering his entire face. He had a backpack over his shoulder. The officers approached. They asked, "What's in the backpack?" And the defendant replied, "A rice cooker." Your Honor doesn't need me to tell you the symbolism of a rice cooker on the one-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombers.
The Tsarnaev brothers allegedly used pressure cookers last year to build bombs that went off near the marathon finish line. The backpack and rice cooker Edson allegedly brought were destroyed. A source told CBS News the rice cooker was full of confetti. Edson had been seen walking barefoot, veiled in black down Boylston Street as he chanted "Boston Strong" over and over. Edson's attorney says her client has a history of mental illness.
His family is very supportive of him. He spoke to me a little bit about his mental health history, some of the things that he's been experiencing, some of the treatment that he received since his diagnosis at the age of 19.
And Edson is facing several charges, including possession of a hoax explosive device and threats to commit a crime. Coming up at 6, an apology from Edson's family. Mike and Shannon?
Todd, you were near the area where witnesses saw Edson. What did you see?
I saw exactly what the witnesses saw. On Boylston Street, I saw Edson actually walking right behind us as we were preparing to do our live shot at 6:30. He was dressed in black, veiled in black, and chanting "Boston Strong" in one direction on Boylston Street, and then he turned around and came back in the other direction toward Boylston Street, this time toward the finish line. We didn't think it was anything significant, odd, but not significant, or at least not dangerous. But thankfully, in this day and age, you can really never be too sure. Mike, Shannon?
All right, Todd, thank you, and we'll check back in with you on Eyewitness News at 6. Well, last night's scare is only adding to concerns about safety during this coming Monday's running of the 2014 Boston Marathon.
And as we've been reporting for weeks now, security cameras have been installed along the 26.2-mile route, and that officers from 10 agencies will be keeping an eye on things.
Our exclusive analyst, General Reginald Centracchio, said no amount of security can completely eliminate the danger, but the more, the better.
Anything is possible, 100% possibility, but the probability is directly proportional to the amount of resources you put into it, so that lowers the risk, obviously. This particular time, they're talking about an enormous amount of money, an enormous amount of resources.
We'll have much more from General Centracchio on the security effort on Monday's marathon coming up new at 5:30.